Subi Shave's video with me on a beautiful morning. Hashtag Team OneBlade, hashtag No Blade Left Behind. Come on in, throw me a Subi smile, and all I gotta say is squad goals. Thank you for being here, for clicking in today's video, and for joining me. Hopefully wherever you're watching from today, you're drinking something delicious, you're sitting in a comfy chair, and you're ready for a shave. You know I am, and today is gonna be a good one. We're talking about the OneBlade Shave Genesis razor. This is the V1 and the V2, and today I have the opportunity, I have the privilege of talking about and demystifying some of the differences and some of the things that you can watch for and being able to tell if it's a V1 or a V2. I am absolutely thrilled to get to do this, and I had the chance to actually go back and forth and ask questions to the COO of OneBlade, Charlie himself, and we're able to kind of discuss some of the things that I've heard in the community, some of the false information and some of the things that I've heard that are actually not true. And today we're going to debunk it, we're going to demystify it, and I'm going to make it so that everybody here can tell the difference between the two. And today we're going to do it a little bit different. I know that OneBlade Shave doesn't necessarily agree with this concept, but we're going to be using a gem blade in both of them, not just the V2, which I really like. I enjoy the way it shaves on both sides of things, but I kind of wanted to show kind of similarly how they shave when you use a gem blade in both of them. It's going to be awesome. I'm thrilled to have you here. We're also going to be using for the first time on channel, this is Smoking Aces by Yaqi. Grace herself and Team Yaqi sent this our way to talk about and to do a little scent review on, and I'm thrilled to get the opportunity to do that because VIP 212 is the scent it's a homage of, and it smells super nice. I know that when you look the scent up right online, Fragnatica, they explain it to be a very expensive drink, right? That's kind of the scent that they want to portray. I heard somebody say it's a younger scent, and I don't agree with that. It smells sophisticated. It doesn't smell smoky like you would think from the label. For me, what I get is like almost like a really high-end drink, maybe a little bit of citrus. You have this kind of boozy note to it, but what really sets the tone for me is kind of this spicy note. It has a very nice spice from a peppercorn that really makes the scent pop. It's very almost like subtle, where you want to like lift, reach in and smell a little bit more. I really like this one again. This is Smoking Aces by Yaqi, and in collaboration with Master Soap Creations. They're doing a kind of a collab where he makes the scent and the soap, and they're kind of working with him. I really like this a lot. I can't say high enough praises about Master Soap Creations and the stuff that they do. I think the label's really cool. And again, the only thing that really bugs me about the entire display of this entire packaging is that the label is just slightly cantered, right? It's like this. You would want that to be maybe a little bit less, you know what I mean? So this label here and this label here are even. Other than that, I absolutely love the packaging. I love the shave soap that it comes with, and I like the scent projection. The projection's really nice. I'm excited to have this on today. The lather was done with the Gemini brush. I really like this brush from Yaqi, and I did it in their Travelscape or their Travel Bowl. Their Travel Bowl is one of my favorite all-time bowls right now. It's silicone, but it cleans up so nicely. Take a look at the leather. Now, I'm not a leather expert, but I really like this stuff. It's like pillowy, it's slick, it's thick, it's hydrated, and the thing that I really like about this is the amount of protection I'm getting from it. Beautiful stuff. Now, again, this has been like, one of the soaps that I would have gravitated towards recently because Yaqi did send us a bunch to test, but I have loved every single one of these. Again, this is with Master Soap Creations. Today, we're going to have the thickness and slickness we need for this shave right here. I'm really excited to be doing it today. Again, we're going to talk about the differences and how to spot one of the V1s versus the V2 and what you should be looking for. The first thing, first and foremost, I'll make sure to have like a little call out here. But if you look on this side here, you will see that one of these little rivets does not reach the bottom as far as the one on the right? The one on the left here is a sub 1000. You can see here, sub 1000, hopefully. And this one is not. So this is one of their newer run ones. This is a V2, and this is a V1. So the first thing that me and Charlie talked about is the run number. The first and foremost, is you're looking for one of these silver models that is under 1,000 on the serial number. Serial number is on the bottom head here, and that kind of gives you an idea that you're looking at a V1. The other thing is, again, those rivets. The one goes all the way to the bottom pretty much, and the other one does not. You see that? It's very, like, it's subtle. You're looking at this little tooth versus the tooth on the left. You guys see this? Hopefully that is helpful. Hopefully when you're looking at like eBay pictures, things like that, you can see the difference right there, just the way that this goes all the way to the bottom versus it not. The angle here versus the angle there. I know like if you were to set them side by side, right, you can tell the difference. I know it's a little harder to do online with photos, but as you can see, we've got the blade shimmed. Now, this is a hack. This is a trick that I came up with years ago that I'm excited to have like better angles now to kind of showcase. And I actually did the gem blade despining on channel, like on the Subi hat cam, as I used to call it, right? So that everybody can get a really good idea of how to remove the spine from a gem blade and how I'm shimming the gem blade so that it fits nice and tightly. Now, the OneBlade system is very unique in that there's float, right? The blade actually will float and move inside the head cap. And when you shim it, you remove the float. For me, I actually like the blade stabilized a little bit more than the floating system. And the original one didn't have as much float to it. So this actually was intended to be like almost a floatless, much more secure blade than this one. And with the shim, it almost shaves like almost identically, in my opinion. Almost identically when you compare it side by side. At least that's how it felt on the neck and the face today. It was efficient, and that's why I didn't end up going over and doing a battle shave. It's because I could feel my skin were saying, I'm good with one pass. It was really, really, really close. Very comfortable, but I didn't want to push it and end up causing a lot of irritation when I don't have to, right? Because the razor for me is one of those ones that I can pick up, get a very smooth, consistent shave, especially with brand new blades like that, without any problems. But I'm not going to test my endurance with multiple passes. I absolutely love both of these. Another thing I want to call out here, and I grabbed it right here. I actually grabbed myself one of the gunmetal versions, right? Because I wanted to showcase something. I was originally told that if you had a gunmetal version, right, that was sub 1000, and I have a sub 1000 here, that it was a V1. It actually is not. If you turn it over, right, we're going to do the test of the test of visualization here. You can see this one is the V1, and then this one is a V2. Take a look at next to side by side the other one with the V2 head. You will see V2 head. They did not make a gunmetal variation in the V1 format. They did not make a gunmetal one. So if you see an OBGM online, that is a gunmetal variation, and it is not a version 1, regardless of what the seller is saying. I want to clear that out because I was originally told it was a V1. It is not a V1, and they never made a V1 in gunmetal color. So that's another one of those kind of like things I've heard in the community I wanted to clear up. So if you're looking at a silver sub 1000 variation that looks like this, then you're probably looking at like this. You're looking at a V1, but if it looks like this, it's a V2. Just wanted to clear it up, make it very, very, very transparent on which model is which, and kind of like one of the things you can really use with the V1 is it can use a gem blade without being shimmed, right? It goes in there nice and tight. That's originally the design for it. It held the feather blade very, very tightly, whereas the new one does not. It's actually intended to have a little more float. They also made the head out of a different material from V1 to V2. V1 was just a stainless steel, whereas V2 is Panacea, which is a type of stainless steel, but it's more like corrosion resistant, and it's actually a bit more allergy friendly. We're going to start some shaving here. We're sitting on just under 72 hours, so 3 days of growth, and we're going to start with the V2. And I want to call this out again. The V2 for me has always been a very good shaver, especially with the shim blade underneath an original gem blade. I really like the way that shaves. Let me show you right here. We've got ourselves, like I said, 72 hours, and we are knocking it down. The Yaqi Smoking Aces scent is super nice. I had my wife smell. I said, how does that smell? I love how the way that lather flows to the top cap like that. I love that so much. I asked her, I said, so for you, how does it smell? I was very curious like how she thought the scent kind of came across. If I was wondering if it smelled too young for her or anything like that. And what she told me is it's very subtle and a little bit sweet. And it smells kind of expensive. And I agree. I think expensive, maybe a little sophisticated, and definitely something you could wear on a date night, right? I think this is one of those ones for date night that would really work. Again, 212, VIP 212. It's an interesting, very, very, very nice scent that I could see myself picking up on the regular. Again, being offered on AliExpress by Yaqi. Talk about a close shave. Look at this thing cutting it down. It's super duper smooth. It is absolutely butter when it comes down to the across the skin vibe, but the performance is 100% there. I would rate this razor as a very low blade fill, very like medium to high efficiency. For me, I get a lot of efficiency out of this razor, especially with the gem blade and with the gem blade shimmed. I love the way that this shaves when you've removed any of the float, and you can use a little bit of pressure and just let that razor do all of the work for you. It's a razor that does pivot, and it kind of, for me, it kind of made me re-excited about single edge razors when I first picked it up, right? I was just getting into the craft and I said to myself, I'd like to try a single edge that pivoted versus a double edge razor. And when I first used this, I was like, it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. The polish on it is stunning. A very, very pretty razor. And the V1 is really no different. When you set it side by side, the V2, they are both gorgeous, absolutely beautiful tools, and they are extremely expensive. I want to call that out. The V2 razor right now is around $300 at the base color, and then it goes up as you get into different colors. Watch how this shaves side by side. Just really quickly, just watch how it shaves side by side. You'll see that this one almost has a little less efficiency to it with just a standard blade in there. Now, if you shim it, I would say it's almost identical, if not the exact same. But I kind of prefer the shim variation. That's me, the shim V2. That sounds a little weird because everybody talks about how good the V1 is. But for me, with the shim, the V2 is very, very good, very smooth, and very easy. Now take a look here. The V1 does not suck. I will tell you that much. I would say for me, 100%, it's underneath the rainbow, very much like a unicorn. This for me is it's a grail piece. To be really honest, I've always loved the OneBlade system, and I've always wanted the opportunity to say that we could use a V1 on channel, right? I have searched and searched and searched. I thought I had purchased one, and honestly, I am thrilled to have the chance to talk about a true V1 and how to know it's a true V1. Oh, that's such a cool razor, such a good shaver. Very close, very easy to use. And the performance, I'm telling you, is like a very, very low blade fill, but extremely efficient. And again, that is with the gem blades. With the feather blades, I have not found as much enjoyment with. They're original. And I think I've always talked about this. It's a razor that I love the design and hated the blades. I've said that many times. I do not lie on channel. I'm totally transparent with everybody here. That's just my opinion. I don't get great shaves of the feather blades. And that's why I was so dedicated in finding a way to use gem blades in the V2. And honestly, side by side, I really like both razors. Really, really enjoy both of them. I didn't want to do side by, buffing over the areas to see if we get any efficiency, because for me, both razors perform so well that I honestly would have some irritation if I were to go over and buff and buff and buff. That's just kind of how this is because of the way it works, right? You have to apply a little pressure to really get the blade to function correctly. And because you're applying a little bit of pressure over and over and over again, gives me a little bit of irritation. Really, really comfortable shave. Very, very close. Very easy and very, very, very smooth. Very smooth, very forgiving. I am doing, like I said, a little bit of pressing, a little bit of buffing. And for me, that's okay because this razor is designed to do that. But when it comes down to it, oh yeah, both sides, absolutely glorious. I really enjoyed both of these razors. I'm going to grab the other one right now and just check. Yeah, I like both of these a lot. I would say that the shimmed V2, again, it is increasing the blade gap just ever slightly, and it is causing the blade to have a little bit more tension. And that's kind of the reason I didn't want to do like a battle razor shave with this one, because it is inherently so different, right? The blade angle's different. You're going to have slightly different gaps. You're going to have slightly, maybe even different exposures based on the way the head gauges. So for me, it was like kind of weird to do like a battle razor shave, but I wanted to do a side-by-side to kind of show you guys how similar the razors do shave. And if you can't get yourself a V2 or V1, not to be sad about it, because the V2 is, in my opinion, equal. I would say that the razor is just as good in the V2 format. I do think it's a little bit more cumbersome to have to do a shim underneath, right, to get that gem blade to be secure. But if you're okay with that, and that's what I've done for years, right? That's what I've done for like 3.5 years, is just shim that blade. If you're okay with that, I'm telling you, both razors will shave for the rest of your life extremely close, very comfortably. I know that $300 is a huge ask, especially with a proprietary blade system. But with this, you don't really need a proprietary blade system to get an extremely close, very comfortable, very easy shave. Talk about a close, no irritation, no problems kind of shave, no nicks, no dings, and that's the way we like it. Let's cover ourselves a little bit of splash and see how we did. Oh, that base on that soap makes it so you almost don't need a splash to get an absolutely smooth, like my skin's so soft right now. Love that stuff from Grace. Again, Yaqi pairing with Master Soap Creations, I think is an absolute pairing. I think it's a great pairing, and I think it's a match that I think should continue, because I would love to see what they continue to come up with. Really close, very comfortable, very easy. Again, the V1, V2, I hope that helps get some information out there that's good information. I hope that helps demystify things, and I hope that clarifies some of the questions that I've received over the years about how to tell a V1 versus a true V2. I'm thrilled to have had the chance to do this again with you. It was close, it was comfortable, and until I see you guys for the next one, I'm gonna get out and enjoy the shave. Subs!